To quote Harry Kane, while I start this video, Liverpool seem to be getting all of the luck and the bounces at the moment. Now, not only is that disrespectful to us and the performance that we put on, but the first goal that Tottenham scored within 47 seconds is the epitome of what he just said. Literally, the epitome of what he just said. Heung-min Son, took a shot, hit the bar or the post, or no, Alisson saved, no, sorry, came off a defender, hit the post, and perfectly, just fell into the path of Harry Kane. 47 seconds in. Now, people were looking at that and thinking, by the way, this is the Liverpool versus Tottenham review of 2-1 victory for us. But I just wanted to get straight into it because I just thought that was one of the most asinine, stupid things I've ever heard a player say, as if we've robbed them of a victory or we've robbed them of a draw or something like that. This was barely a competitive match. This, honest to God, and I am now not being disrespectful to Tottenham. It's not, because this is a fact. This is exactly how it went. You know, I might be in unfamiliar surroundings right now because I couldn't be arsed getting out of bed, so I just turned it round, put my phone on top of the on top of the headboard, and let's just record. Honestly, that was barely a competitive match. We were at Anfield, right? You know, they scored within 47 seconds, and literally, you couldn't tell that Tottenham had scored. It didn't look like they were trying to take advantage of anything. They weren't trying to build on what they've already got. They got a goal within 47 seconds. Unbelievable stuff. And however fortuitous it is to get a goal like they did that early on, they didn't seem to want to kick on. They seemed like, all right, guys, come on, flat back 11. We're going to try and hold on to a 1-0 at Anfield after 47 seconds. They didn't try. Not in my opinion. I'm hearing Gary Neville turning around saying, oh, Heung-min Son and such were really like pressing. They were looking like their old pressing game. When? Apart from like the opening of the half and the opening of the second half, after like 5 minutes in each half, they stopped. I don't get it. I don't get where you're getting that analysis from. There's only one team pushing that game, and that was Liverpool. Now we go behind one of the quickest and most unfortunate fashions that we've gone behind in a long time. And it's as if our players just went, no biggie, we're going to win this game anyway. So, you know, we just thought we'd give you a little bit of a chance. For me, there's no real defensive fault in this one. Heung-min Son has had a shot. It gets deflected by a defender, hits the post, falls into the path of Harry Kane, and he headers it in. There's not really a great deal anybody can do about that, in my opinion anyway. Some people are saying, oh my God, as if, you know, yeah, you could have closed down Heung-min Son earlier and he doesn't get the shot off, the goal doesn't happen. But it's one of those things, I can't really point a finger and say, oh my God, this Lovren or Van Dijk has made a mistake. You know, it's one of them. You can't really see that happening, in my opinion anyway. After that though, it's one-way traffic. It is one-way traffic, and I'm going to get some stats up here. So stats that I've got up here, for the whole game, 73% possession for Liverpool, 17 shots, 14 shots on target, which is unreal. And let me tell you, Tottenham's goalkeeper, I don't know if his name is Paulo, and I could actually look, but Gazzaniga, I think his name is. Unreal performance by that guy. Literally unreal performance. He was like one of those robotic goalkeepers that is just like everywhere. Apart from for the 2 goals we scored, but honestly, he was just everywhere. That's one of the most clinical shooting performances I've ever seen us have. To have 17 shots and 14 of them on target, unbelievable. And if that's any other goalkeeper, we're probably scoring the vast majority of those. Unreal. You know, we dominated we dominated stats in every single way, apart from throw-ins, offsides, and saves. Only because You know, it says that Alisson had to make 3 saves, which is cool. He made 12 saves. Now, if you consider the fact that the shots on goal Tottenham had were 4, Alisson's made 3. Magnificent, fantastic. Because the first goal is very fortuitous, very fortuitous. Don't let anyone tell you different. Now, we're basically going to get just straight into the second half. Second half comes on, and we're still playing a very good pressing game. We're still very high intensity, absolutely brilliant. Now, I think it was Fabinho loops a ball from just outside the area, quite a bit outside the area, loops a ball into the box. It's a dangerous ball. Defenders don't know where to go, don't know where people are. Henderson is coming in on the end of the box. He's streaming into the box, and I'm just thinking, when he hit it with his left foot, I was thinking, this better go in. Like, I was just thinking it better go in, honestly, because it would then as hard as we were pressing, as hard as we were playing, we would have then started going up a gear. And I still think we've got two or three gears in us to go even further. Brilliant goal, and I absolutely love the fact that it was Henderson that scored it. I really do. And no one celebrates. I love people celebrating goals. Obviously, I love like all the different celebrations you get from Firmino, Mane, Salah. I just love that raw passion celebration from Henderson whenever he scores. It's such a rarity when he does score. I love seeing it. It's fantastic, honestly. And it capped off, for me, what was an absolutely brilliant performance by Henderson yesterday as well. So then, yeah, basically, again, it was one-way traffic anyway, and then it was just further one-way traffic. There's no two ways about it. 75th minute penalty. Now, Sadio Mane gets brought down in the box by Serge Aurier, a player who has flashes of moments of being a footballer, and then just isn't. Like, I don't know what it is with Serge Aurier. Like, and I'm not defending him at all. I literally do not know what it is with him. He just loses his mind every now and again. Just goes, I'm just going to stick my legs in. I'm just going to kick him. I'm just going to like shove my legs in there. I don't get. He's had it when he was at PSG. He would get stupid red cards. He's had stupid red cards for Tottenham. You know, I can't remember. It was Roy Keane who turned around when I think the Sky Sports guy asked him to compare Danny Rose and Serge Aurier to Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson, and he basically just said, it's like Dumb and Dumber. It's chalk and cheese. And yeah, I can't disagree, honestly. You are comparing different levels of fullbacks, honestly. He gives away a penalty on Sadio Mane, a man who never gives up on a chance, no matter how unlikely it seems that he might score. He never gives up, and it was a definite penalty. No one can argue this one. No one. They tried. They definitely tried to argue it, whether it was a penalty or not, but there's no way you can argue it. It was a penalty this time. Salah steps up. Milner's not on the pitch at this point. Salah steps up and he slams it into the back of the net. Gazaniga could not do anything about this one, and it goes 2-1. We then basically, penalty goes in. Wijnaldum comes off. Milner comes on. Salah goes off. Media are making it a little bit bigger than I think it is, and I think that Klopp is right in what he's saying and playing it down. Salah went off injured, but I don't actually think he's injured. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not like, oh my god, he's going to be out for... I hope not anyway. Nothing's been confirmed. Klopp's not worried, but I don't know if he's just playing down the situation, but he's gone off and basically just said, look, he's still feeling that knock after that Chowdhury challenge at Leicester. He was fine throughout the game, but as the game went on, you can sort of start to feel the niggles in that knock again. So I'm not entirely worried, but he had a great game as well, and hopefully he'll do all right. Joe Gomez came on for him, and basically, and Divock Origi came on for Firmino late on, basically just to run the clock down. And that was it. We saw out the game in a very, 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 very dominant performance from Liverpool. Honest to God. Like, if we're talking about things that were fortuitous and teams getting all the bounces, Tottenham had them given to him. Now, don't get me wrong, Tottenham had chances. There was one where Alisson's coming out, he's going to Son, and he rounds Son, and Son hits the bar again in the second half early on before we got our goal, our first goal. They had their chances and they didn't take them. But they had very few chances. And the problem for Tottenham is, I've highlighted this in the shape of the top six. The problem for Tottenham is, creatively, they look stifling. I don't know what Tottenham's system is for them to try and compete. Eriksen was on Andy Robertson. You are basically just asking for Eriksen to be shut down the entire game because Robertson was not going to give him a sniff. Dele Alli, I don't know what is happening with that guy. I remember 2-3 years ago, he was one of the most on fire midfielders, and yet he's an absolute shadow of himself. They were talking about it on Sky Sports yesterday. You know, Harry Kane scores the goal, doesn't do a lot else. Lucas, I think, got 5 minutes? When did he come on? Lucas, he comes on in the 83rd minute. What has happened to that guy? This is the guy who got them through the semi-final of the Champions League, literally almost by himself, and he can't start a game. Lucas would have given us more problems than anyone else on that pitch, and that is an absolute fact, just purely because of his pace. That is the one thing I don't know what Pochettino is doing. And I don't think maybe a lot of Spurs fans know what Pochettino is doing, because it's clear to see he could be their main threat. He was brilliant for them last season, and he's just not getting minutes, not even against the big teams like us. Anyway, I am happy because it was one of those weekends where I'm literally looking at it, you know, Friday, obviously Leicester smack Southampton 9-0. You know, Man City score a fair few goals, Chelsea score a few goals as well. You know, their player Pulisic getting off the mark. Man United scored 3 goals somehow. It's one of them. Arsenal went and threw away a 2-0 lead. You know, some things do stay the same, let's just say that anyway. But yeah, it was one of those where teams around us all seem to be scoring goals like madness, and I just wanted to make sure that we went out and put on a good performance, and I felt that we put on one of our best performances of the season. Despite the early setback, we went out there as if it was 0-0, and we got the job done. So I'm happy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And how do you feel about the midfield? Because none of us, I don't think we got the midfield that we wanted, but we still won the game in the end anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you are new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.